Hi everyone, welcome back to Kat's Book Corner. We talk about all things book and bookish. Now, it is my July wrap-up, and I have 5 books I'm going to talk about, and it was a little underwhelming. I only had 2 books that I genuinely really liked. The other 3 were they kind of fell flat. One has me excited for the next book in the series, and one I'm a little curious as to where it ended, but the other one I kind of didn't like it. But yeah, so these 5 are the ones I read. Okay, let's start with the first one I read. Now, this is one of the ones I actually liked, which is... It's weird that the first and last one were the ones I really liked, but it is God of Malice by Rita Kent, and this, for me, was a 4.5. I genuinely, really liked this one. I really liked it. I was able to guess, if you could call it a twist, I was able to guess that, so wasn't really a twist to me, but I was able to guess that. I really like, what was her name? Glendon and Killian's relationship. I really liked that. I liked the characterization of both of them. I thought it was really well done of having Killian come out of his psychopathic shell, so to say. So I really liked that. I liked the mystery element, actually. The whole mystery element and the brewing mafia war. I kind of liked that. That was fun. I like the found family. I like how Gwendolyn has her crew and Killian has his crew. I really liked that. I thought it was really good. And also how even with their families they fight. Killian doesn't like his brother or his father, but will always try to be a good person for his mother. Gwendolyn loves her parents and one of her brothers. One is just they never really seem eye to eye. That's kind of funny. But there's that. But I also like the found family, with Jeremy, Nico. What were the other names? Yeah, Jeremy, Nico, and Killian, those people together. Also Nico's sister, because we only met one. And even Gareth, kind of. And on Gwendolyn's side, Cecily and Ava, and even introducing Annika, which is Jeremy's sister. Making them all sort of intertwine together, even though they're from 2 different colleges. I really liked that. They actually have a way for them to come together. I liked that. I also liked the other guys that are friends with Gwendolyn's crew, her cousin, and Remington. I thought he was funny. But I really liked it. It was good. I liked all the relationships that happened. Well, the twist wasn't really that surprising for me because I was able to guess that. But the way it led up to it, I like when books are able to do that. That's what I wish Metal Slinger did, because while I could have guessed the twist halfway through this book, it didn't take away from the enjoyment of getting to the twist. I got to the twist and I still enjoyed it. It wasn't oh, I called this, so it's not as fun. But I liked the way that we got there. That path was fun. So that one was really good. I like the way that they sort of played each other in the beginning, because it wasn't mutual in the beginning. Also, dark romance, obviously, look up your triggers. Because it wasn't a mutual relationship at the beginning. It sort of turned that way after a lot of pushing from Killian, I guess. But also, Gwendolyn did eventually want it. And it sounds really wrong, but it's a dark romance. So That's sort of like the whole point of it. Like, it's not a healthy relationship, but I still enjoyed it because I think it's fun and I think they're really good together. But yeah, so I really liked this one. Moving on to the next book that I read. It was Twisted Love by Anna Wong. This one was a 3.5. I didn't enjoy this one that much. I thought it was very cringy, and not like in the good way, because there's plenty of books that I think are cringy, but I actually really, really like them. So, but it just wasn't the good way, and I didn't like it. And I predicted literally everything. The whole, like, backstory of Ava, I guessed that. And I guessed that, like, Alex, like, knew some things that we didn't know that he knew until later. And, like, I guessed the actual bad guy. Like, I guessed literally everything. And it was really annoying. Because it wasn't like in God of Malice where, like, the paths were fun to get there. The paths were boring to get there. So I didn't like it. But I did like Ava's friend group. Like, I liked Bridget, Ava, and, what's her name? Julie. Is that her name? I'm gonna look real quick. Jules. Her name is Jules. I liked the friend group, and reading this book got me so excited for the next one, which is about Bridget. Like, I'm so excited for Bridget, because from the little crumbs we got in this one, I am so excited for Bridget. But I just didn't like this one, which I know is, like, the whole, like, everyone literally says they don't like Twisted Love, but they like the rest of the series. So, like, I'm okay giving that a shot, because if the rest of the series is, like, the crumbs I got of Bridget and Reese, then I'll be, like, really, really happy, because I really liked those crumbs we got in this book. It was just, I don't know, it was really boring. I finished it, like, in, like, a day and a half, so it didn't take me long. So I would say that. I don't know if I would ever read it again. Like, it's a 3.5. There were some parts of it I enjoyed. Like, I did enjoy the way their relationship got back together. Like, that part made me a little bit emotional. And I know if I say I got emotional, I should have this higher up. But it was just that part that got me emotional. And, like, because I'm always a sucker for reconciliation stuff. It's every time I read fanfics and, like, there's angst, the reconciliation part is my favorite part. So, the reconciliation part I loved. I loved that part. It was so good. I loved Ava's relationship with her friends and her brother. And I loved even, like, Alex's relationship with her brother, who is his best friend. Like, I really, really liked that. Like, the relationships were solid. I liked that. It's just the plot was boring, and, like, I was able to guess everything. It was just, not a huge fan. Let's see, did I like anything else? Oh, I did like how they got jealous of each other. I do love a good jealous trope. Those are always fun. Let's see, anything else I liked? Can't really think of too much that I like. I also thought it was very cringy, like, in the way that, not the references, I'm okay with modern day references, like, I'm okay if, like, they mention, like, TikTok trends and stuff, like, and, like, that type of stuff, like, I'm okay with that. Like, it's a contemporary romance, it's supposed to reflect what happened in the time it was written, so I'm able to get past those. But, like, it just felt cringy, like they were teenagers. And they're not teenagers. They're, like, one of them's graduated college and, like, runs his own business. And Ava literally just graduated. So it's, like, it feels like they're teenagers, and it shouldn't feel that way, because it shouldn't feel that way. So I just don't like that part. Like, it should have felt like a grown-up, like, getting with each other instead of, like, how it went. But otherwise, it was fine. Like, there were parts of it that I kind of hated, and there were parts of it that I kind of liked. The only reason it's not a 3 or lower is because the reconciliation part made me cry. So, that's the part that it gets to stay. So, yep. Moving on to the next one. This is All of Us Villains by Amanda Fody and C.L. Herman. This one was a 3.75. This was going to be a 3, again. Told you I didn't have great luck with books this month. But it got up higher because I love how it all came together. This is a duology, and there's a second book that I will read because I'm, the last bit of this book, it had me on the edge of my seat. Just the last bit. The beginning part is slow and it's a little boring. It follows Alistair, who is my favorite. I love Alistair. He's awesome. There's Bryony. Gavin, I think his name is. Gavin Grieve. Yeah, Gavin Grieve. And Isabel. And they each have to, join this competition to get, the high magic. And, the contest that they do every, generation was finally out to the public. And it's basically the Hunger Games. The Hunger Games was out to the public, if you can believe that. I know I never read The Hunger Games, but I have watched the movie, so I do know the concept. So, that's what I've got from this. It was revealed to the public that they do this. So the public is now, keeping an eye on these kids. Not to stop them, just to watch, because you can't break this curse, because it's a curse. I liked the way magic was in this book. The magic was really interesting. I like the little hints, because I was also able to call this one, but, the little hints as to what's actually happening was really, really, well thought out. I really liked that. Alistair's my favorite. He's part of, the evil family, I guess, but all the families are bad. They're all rich and awful. But, he's part of, the main evil bad one that you don't want to be part of. Alistair Lowe. He's part of the Lowe family. And he is my favorite. I love him. So they join this competition, and they all have different reasons for wanting to join. I want to see if it tells you on the back why they're joining this. No. They don't have the reasons listed, but each of them has, a separate reason for doing this. And then each of them faces, obstacles that are strange. And then, the entire competition was so fun. I loved reading about the competition. That part was really good. And the whole, heartbreaking thing that happened to Alistair right before he goes in. And the same... Also, I kind of hated Bryony. I think she was really, really annoying. I thought she was so annoying. She's my least favorite character. Gavin and Alistair are, my favorites. I love them. But Isabel, she was fine. I actually really liked Isabel, too. Bryony was really whiny. I always thought that she knew what was best for everyone. And I didn't like that. Yeah, sure, I love a good flawed character. I like Killian. He's, the most flawed character there is because he's, morally black. But she just thought that she know best. I'm like, girl, it ain't your decision. You made so many bad decisions that could have cost someone their life. And they didn't even want this. So, don't like that. But, otherwise, it's fine. She was the only character, I didn't want a chapter from her. Alistair, Gavin, and Isabel, I always wanted a chapter from them because they always had, interesting things that were happening. And, the relationships and alliances that form when they're in the middle of, the challenges, those are just so fun. I really, really like them. Let's see. Anything else? Oh, the ending. The ending ends a bit cliffhanger-y, but I really liked the way it ended with the cliffhanger-y. The last chapter is Alistair's, and when I say he does what is deserved, he does what's deserved. What he does in that last chapter is literally what I wanted him to do since, the beginning of this book. And it was just, it was so good, and I really, really loved it. In what you think, the alliance is going into the tournament, you think they might stay that way. They do not. The alliances shift and change, and it's just, you don't know why they're doing that. It's so crazy. And I really, really liked that. And the next book is called All of Our Demise, which, I don't know. I'm looking forward to that one, too. But moving on to the next one. which is Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. This one was a 3. I didn't like this one, like, at all. The only reason it's not a 2 is because I liked the characters. Well, I liked pretty much all the characters besides our main character. I thought she was really, really weird, and I didn't like her. Also, I guess the twist in this one. It's very hard to trick me. But this is about Lynette, and she is in, like, a Final Girl support group with, like, all other, like, Final Girls. And I liked how, like, they were based off, like, Final Girls from fiction. Like, one was based off of Halloween, Scream, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th. Let's see, what was the other one? There's one more. What was the other one? Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Scream. Oh, Texas Chainsaw Massacre was the other one. And Silent Night, Deadly Night. I didn't like the characterization of Lynette. I thought it was bad. I thought it was bad. Like, though I feel like it mischaracterizes what she would have went through and tries to make it seem like, I'll get to it in the spoiler section, but like it doesn't sit it doesn't sit well with me, like the way her characterization was written. What I did like the twists and turns, like the way it was also formatted, in the way like that God of Malice was formatted, where like I liked the path we were on to get there, even if I knew the destination. Like, I knew who the bad guys were. I knew who one of them was pretty quickly. And then I was able to catch the Mr. X. So that was fine. Let's see. I liked the final act. The final act was good. I don't like the epilogue. I'll get to it in the spoiler section why I don't like the epilogue, but I don't. I loved the mixed media that was in it, because before every chapter there was like, let me find one. But it's like a type of like article or something, or like a list that like talks about like horror movies, like the horror movies in their world, because they all have had horror movies based off of like their life experiences. And like it tells like those types of things, like from a spotlight sort of thing. So I did like that part, like where like what would happen if Final Girls kind of existed like that, and like there were movies made about them. So I did like that. Let's see, what else did I like, because I didn't really like this one that much. As said, by it being a 3, which is literally like the second lowest that my ratings go, because if I rate something a 2, it's very rare that I do, because I always try to find something that I do enjoy in what I'm reading. I always try to. The lowest I think I've ever listed something is either a 2 or a 2.75, like in that range, and it's been either Breaking Dawn or New Moon, because I hate those books like so much. I couldn't find anything enjoyable about those books, besides like what I normally like about those books, like that there's chaos in the vampires. I like that part, but that's about it, and that's not even like a good chunk of the book, specifically in New Moon. But I try to enjoy what I'm reading. I try and find even like little things that I kind of enjoy to get me through something, because I find it really hard to DNF. But I guess it's fine. It's just I didn't like the characterization of the main character. I thought it was a bad way to characterize her after going through a trauma. But I will get to why I think that in the spoiler section. And like that's just me saying like random stuff because I haven't been through anything near as traumatic as like the girls that are written in this book. I just think it was characterized weird, so I just didn't like it. Okay, getting into the last one that I read, which was Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. And if you've been on my channel for a while, you know I love a good V.E. Schwab book. Like, the two I've read before have been 5 stars, and this one was no exception. This one was also 5 stars. I loved it. It was so, so good. It follows 3 vampires. Well, humans, and then they turn into vampires. Follows Maria, Charlotte, and Alice. And they're from 3 different times. Maria is from 1532, Charlotte's from 1827 London, and Alice is from 2019 Boston. And they were each turned into vampires, and some of it was consensual, some of it wasn't. And then you have to deal with the consequences of that, because there are distinct consequences to vampirism in this book, and I really, really liked how they addressed those sort of characterizations. I think Maria was my favorite, though I did like Charlotte and Alice as well, but I think Maria was my favorite. And I'll get to why she was my favorite when we get into the spoiler section, but I really, really liked her characterization. And each of them has, like, a different motive. Like, Maria was always greedy, always wanted more. Charlotte wanted love, and Alice wants revenge because she didn't ask to be turned into a vampire. She wants to kill whoever turned her. And it goes from 15... I think it starts in 1520-something, when Charlotte is, like, 10. And it goes until 2019. And we follow the 3 through their journeys as their vampires. It's also a toxic love story, because 2 characters in the book, they are in love, and it's very, very toxic. And, like, I love the mythology of the vampires, how, like, there's so many things they can't do, but also there's so many things that they can now do. I really, really liked that. And, like, the Midnight Soil being, like, what they were birthed back up into. Because that's what they call themselves. They were buried in the Midnight Soil. Like, that's, like, the rhyme, and it's what they call themselves. And I really liked that. I really liked all of the characterizations. I thought they were really, really, really well done. I really liked that. And exploring, like, their sexuality in times when that wouldn't have been, like, looked upon favorably, like a woman being with another woman. It wouldn't have been looked on favorably at all. You could have even, like, been killed for that sort of thing. Like, them, like, discovering these urges and realizing, like, this is what I want to do. Like, I really, really loved that. I thought it was well done. Let's see. And with Alice, we get a lot of her, like, backstory as well. Because hers starts with her, the day she's turned. Maria and Charlotte, we also get backstories of them, but, like, not nearly as much as we get with Alice, because we get her backstory from, like, being a kid up into moving to Boston and going to college. Maria, we get hers from 10, but, like, hers goes up, like, a lot, because, like, you get backstory from Alice, but, like, the backstory starts with Maria, like, being 10, and, like, of course, it skips around. Like, there's some years we don't see. Charlotte, I think, gets the least backstory, but also because she's the character who doesn't need a lot of backstory. Because the reason that she is where she is because of that backstory. So you only have, like, a little bit of backstory for her, which you don't need because her characterization comes through without the backstory. So I really, really liked that. But all the characters fun. I loved the side characters. Like, I liked who Maria meets when she's in Italy. I forget his name. Give me 1 second. Matteo, I think is his name. Yeah, Matteo and Alessandro. Like, I liked those 2 people, and also Hector and what was her name? Renata. Like, the friends that she met along the way. And then Charlotte's friends who she meets, like, what's his name? Ezra, like, all those friends. So I really liked that. I really liked this story. I thought it was really, really well done, and I really liked it. It was really, really good. Okay, moving on to the spoiler section. Let's start with God of Malice. So if you don't want spoilers, click off now because I talk about spoilers. It starts with Gwenlyn being at a place where her best friend jumped off a cliff. Well, drove off a cliff. And Killian's there also looking to see what happened because he knew that guy who did that because they were part of, like, he wanted to join Killian's, like, club, like, mafia, basically. But Killian was like, no. And, like, that's supposedly why he drove off a cliff. And Gwenlyn was supposed to be with him in the car. So she, like, feels awful about that. And Killian is just, like, looking stuff. And he kind of forces Gwenlyn to get with him. And Gwenlyn enjoys it. She does. She pretends she doesn't. Also, dark romance. So take everything I say with, like, a grain of salt. Like, this was the book. It was written. Like, I'm not condoning any of this. Like, at all. So, and then she thinks she's never going to have to see Killian again. And she goes back to school with her friends. And she's still feeling heartbroken. And that she's, like, never going to be good enough to compete with her brothers or her mother, who are all artists. And Killian is a psychopath, and he kind of hates his brother because he thinks that his brother is the perfect son and thinks his father doesn't love him because the way he showed affection back when he was a kid, it seemed to make his father scared of him. So, there's that. Then, they're in, like, they go to, like, 2 separate colleges. Like, the American one and, like, the British one. And Gwenlyn, tries to join the crew. Doesn't work out. But her and Killian form a tentative relationship or alliance. And she kind of teams with Gareth, who is, Killian's brother, who doesn't like him that much, to find out information about her friend. And says, I'll help you that as long as you keep my brother, like, away from me. And they do, but then it realizes, like, they both have feelings for each other. And Gareth is like, we don't need to do this. Like, we don't. Like, you actually care for my brother, and he actually seems to care for you. So, like, you've actually made him better. So, we're not going to do this anymore. And then she finds out the truth that it seemed like Killian sort of pushed her friend into driving off the cliff. So, like, she leaves him. And, like, they're in America at the time. Like, because he was visiting his parents, and she was bringing his girlfriend to see his parents. And, like, we also get chapters from Gwenlyn's dad and also, I think, Killian's dad. But, like, I like the way that they're characterized because they still care about their children, even if it looks like they don't sometimes. Even though I don't like Killian's dad. I think he is kind of the worst. But he does actually seem to care a little bit, so I'll let it slide just this once. But, like, then Gwenlyn gets beat because we find out, like, her friend wasn't actually dead. He just wanted to, like, get under Killian's skin. And it's just, I loved that twist. I mean, I called it, but, like, it was still so good. I really liked it. And, like, even her brother, who's part of, like, the mafia on the other side, teams up with Killian to be like, let's hunt this guy down. He hurt my family. Even though her brother's also kind of a psychopath. But I really, really liked that. And them getting together, and her parents and her brothers threatening her boyfriend is just, that part was so, so fun. I really, really, really liked that. I thought it was good. Not really much else, but, like, it was fun. Like, it was very good, fun, dark romance. And I am excited for the next one, because I think the next one is about Annika and Kragen. So, I'm excited for that. But I also am excited for, like, the one that the book Nico gets and the one Jeremy gets. Because, and also the one that Brandon gets. I think Brandon and Nico get together. Also, I want Landon. I want to read Landon's book. Like, those, like, characters have, those three have really interested me. Both Glenlund's brothers, Brandon and Landon, and Jeremy and Nico. So yeah, those four. They really interested me. So I can't wait to get into those characters. But like, otherwise, I really, really liked this one. I am excited to see the next one, because I liked it. It was really good. Okay. Moving on to Twisted Love. I didn't like this not much, because I called her dad was behind the whole thing, like, trying to kill her. Like, I called that, and, like, he blamed her mother, and, like, that type of stuff. Like, I called that wasn't hard. I also called that Alex knew that their father was bad, and he was the one who killed his parents, like, and hired people to do that. Like, I called that. It surprisingly, I mean, it's the same author, so I get why it was surprising me, as King of Wrath. Like, the story seemed like they had similar plot points, which is maybe why I was able to call that, because the plot points were very similar. Like, the guy knew that the girl's dad did stuff, so they were, like, going on revenge by getting with, not, because getting with her wasn't ever the plan, but, like, it seeming like it was the plan. Like, that type of stuff. So, I called that part. I also called his uncle actually Big Bad Guy. Like, I called that, like, almost immediately. But the reconciliation part, that one did make me cry. Where he, like, literally, like, goes to, London to get her back and just, like, waits, for a year. Like, and just buys her stuff and is just, like, always around her, like, just trying to win her back. Like, I really, really liked that. I thought it was well done. I really liked that. Also, Bridget and Reese. Like, I love Bridget. Bridget, I think, is my favorite side character. Like, she's just so good. And, like, getting hints of, like, the others. Because I know Jules and Josh, which is Eva's brother, get together. So, like, and them hating each other because their book is called Twisted Hate. So, like, I kind of liked that. But the crumbs we got of those relationships were also really, really fun. I loved the interactions that Eva had with all her friends. They were just great. I liked them. Let's see, what else? And I also actually really, really liked the relationship that Alex had with Josh. Because the whole plan was for him to get close to Josh so he would be able to get inside their house to, like, spy on the dad. But he actually became really good friends with Josh. So I'm like, and, like, him having to betray them is just, him and Josh just aren't close anymore. Like, I really wish they were. Because they seemed like they actually had a good friendship. And him just, like, protecting her against, like, handsy guys and, like, her ex-boyfriend who clearly cheated on her, and just him just protecting her. It was just, and then Ava getting jealous over, like, some of his other hookups. But he's like, well, yeah, I like you. I don't like them anymore. I like you. Like, I liked the jealous moments. Those were fun. I liked the crumbs we got of the other romances, like Bridget. I liked the reconciliation part. Those parts were all really, really good. The plot was very boring, which I suppose could be expected considering it is a contemporary romance. And they normally, from what I've read, don't have a very deep plot. It's very surface level. So maybe that's why it was easier to call all of the answers. But, I don't know. Because as soon as I kind of called the whole, like, mysterious stuff with her dad, I kind of lost interest in her plot point of, like, not being able to remember everything. Because I knew what was happening, so the memory didn't really make that much sense to me. I found Josh's story a little bit more interesting because he thought he had the right guy when really he had the wrong guy, and it took him a while to figure out who was actually the right guy. And him having, like, be mean to her in front of his uncle in order to protect her is just, that's some of the stuff I love. Like, where you have to give the wrong answers in order to get the reaction that you need. That stuff I like. Like, the last chunk of this book, like, right when Ava and Bridget are captured to the end, I actually really liked that part. But, like, the before part, it was iffy. I didn't really like it that much. So, I really liked that part. I thought it was fun. So I am really, really excited for the next book, because it's Bridget and Rhys, and those are the ones I'm really excited for, considering we've got a lot of information. And her, like, actually, like, she might actually become the queen now because her brother abdicated. I'm interested. Okay, next one. All of Us Villains. As I said, it follows Bryony, Isabel, Gavin, and Alistair. Alistair's my favorite. He's from the Lowe family, who were, like, bastards. They're awful. And they kill one of their family members in order to make a protection curse. And the way magic is in this book, like, it's on rings, and, like, you have to, like, use the rings to get more magic. It's just, and, like, power them up with, like, specific spells. It's just, I really like the way magic is written. But they kill one of their family members, specifically the one Alistair is closest to make that protection spell. It's really heartbreaking, and I hated it. But it made for a really good scene, because now he just wants to kill them. And he does! At the end, he kills his grandmother and his brother and, like, all of his other family members, which aren't a lot. I think there's, like, 5. It's very small. With his brother, who came back, like, as a after-image ghost sort of thing, after he buried the ring and the magic dissipated into the breaking curse, because the curse is now breaking. After Bryony joined, the curse started breaking. Bryony only joined the spell. Also, she wanted to be part of the curse since forever, because, like, that's what she was like, that's the best thing to do. That's what I'm going to do. Her sister gets chosen, and she gets angry. So she's like, let's not. So she figures out a way, like, I have to go in now because I can break this curse. She is so annoying. I hate her. Because she thinks so much is about her when it's really not. And her indicating that Isabel would be the one who would go in the tournament is just awful, because Isabel never wanted to be in the tournament, and now she's forced to be in the tournament. Even when she tells her dad she doesn't want to, he, like, blames her and says, well, you don't want us to win? Like, it's just, it's awful. And I hate it. I hate it so much. But Bryony, like, only joining because now she can save everyone is just... And her getting the actual contestant killed. Like, 2 people out of the, 4, 5... Like, 2 out of the 7. One of them is her fault. The other one is Alistair, because he was trying to kill his newly resurrected brother. So, that one was kind of deserved. But, like, the other one, it was her fault that he was killed. So, it's like, are you really trying to save everyone, Bryony? And Isabel and, like, Alistair sort of form a romance, because when Isabel joined, she lost control of her magic and can't see it anymore, so she's basically a floating duck. And Alistair helps her out, and they form, like, a tiny little bit of romance. And then she curses him at the end, so he's slowly dying. It's just, oof. I'm excited to see where that go. And Gavin, he joins this tournament, because the Greaves always lose. They're always, like, one of the first people dead in this tournament. See, they've never won in the history. Like, they're looked down upon. No one likes a Grieve. And, like, they're all trying to find who wrote this book, who added the curse. And it finds out it's, like, this guy who runs a curse shop who wants to get magic for himself. And it's just, how do they really expect to do that? But, like, he offers to help them all. In, like, weird ways. Like, the spell he gave Gavin drains Gavin's life force. So Gavin is also slowly dying. So it's like, I don't know. But, like, when they finally have come together, be like, oh, the curse can actually be broken. Alistair's like, absolutely no way. Because if the curse is broken, his brother might die. So it's like, I don't want this. I'd like my brother back, please. And we don't know if he'll be able to stay if the curse is broken. So he's going to try and kill everyone if they try and end this curse. So, because his brother is literally the only person that means a single thing to him. And it's just, it's so good. All the characters besides Bryony are, like, all really, really good. I really liked all of them. They were so, so good. Sorry, I have a sore throat. But all of them are just, they're good. And I really like it. I like the story. I'm excited to see where it goes. Because there were parts I didn't like. Like, the beginning part before the tournament was kind of boring, but once we got into the tournament, it got interesting. But then there was some waiting around, which wasn't as good, so I didn't like that part. But then when Hendry comes back, who's Alistair's brother, it was just, then it got really, really good. And the entire ending with Alistair and Hendry killing their family is just, amazing. I love it. So, yep. The next one, Final Girl Support Group. I didn't like Lynette because she was always like portrayed as like she's not a true final girl because she didn't end her monsters like how the other ones did. Like they all killed their killer, like how in all like the horror movies like Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, like the main final girl, she's the one who kind of ends the killer. But she didn't. So they don't call her they call her like a fake final girl. And also like she was kind of in touch with her killer, so like they're like, are you really a final girl? Or you're like, But like at the end when she finally does like get the killers at the end arrested and like taken away, she's like, oh, finally I have some closure. I'm like, you've been going to therapy for like 20 years. And yeah, sure, therapy doesn't work for some people. But the group was like literally the only thing that she had, and she was like closing herself off to everything. Like, you needed to go through a second traumatic experience to be able to let go. Like, I didn't like that characterization. I thought it was bad. Like, she needed to go through a second traumatic experience in order to, like, what's the word? Like, keep the past in the past. It's just like, I didn't like that. I thought it was icky. Let's see. The other final girls were actually really fun. I really liked those characters. They were fun. And I called the killers, like I called them. They weren't hard to call. It was their therapist's son, because he thought his mother was spending more time with him than his own family. So, there's that. And also a fake final girl that was, like, kind of made. And they were, like, dating even though that he kind of groomed her. And then, like, they were hunting at, like, this camp and hunting the final girls down after they killed one of the other final girls at the... Well, technically, the first final girl, they killed her at the beginning of the book. So, like, it all leads up to that. And, like, it was kind of, like, Stephanie, who's the name of the other fake final girl. She was with Lynette almost the entire time. Like, Lynette kidnapped her, and they were together trying to figure out who the killers were. And Lynette figured it out. Like, she was able to piece together that Stephanie did it after Stephanie attacked her. So it was like, did you really piece it together? But she pieced together that the sun wasn't on it, so there's that. Yeah, the final girls were all fun, like, coming together to save everyone at the end. That one was really, really good. I really liked that. Let's see. I the characterization of Lynette, it makes me feel icky, and I don't like it. And, like, they were all, like, they were trying to separate the final girls, I think because they were trying to pick them off one by one, but eventually they had to get to just them all together. Like, they shot one of them. She was in the hospital for a bit. Lynette was, like, locked in prison because they thought she actually had something to do with her own crime that happened to her in the past. One of them, her wife was dying, and she couldn't be with her, so, like, that sort of messed her up. One was just locked behind her, like, house walls, and, like, also one was wanted by the police. So it's, like, they also had like a lot of things like going wrong for them. And like all the final girls, I didn't like them like hating on Lynette. Like I got why they hated on her after they thought that she was complicit in what happened to her. But before that, they were just like really mean to her, and I didn't like that part because as it says, the final girls are supposed to stick together. And yeah, sure, they thought that she was a fake one, but like still, I didn't like that. I didn't like the characterization. I thought it was bad. Let's see what else. And then at the ending, them like pulling Stephanie into like the group. I mean, I get it because she was a final girl, but like still, she tried to kill you. Why are we kind of putting her in the group? But I guess it was a little annoying. I didn't really like it that much. So, okay, on to the last one. Bare Bones of Midnight Soil. It starts with Maria, who then makes friends with like a widow. Her name is Sabine. And eventually Maria gets married. She doesn't like her husband. She doesn't like the life that she has because she doesn't really have a life. She's like practically property at this point. So she like asks the widow, because the widow is a vampire. She doesn't know that yet, but she's like, I want freedom. And he's like, I can give it to you. So the widow turns her and she kills the widow with changing, because you need to drink vampire blood after you turn, I guess. And then she changes her name to Sabine because she's like, I don't want to be Marie anymore. I want to be Sabine. She kills her husband. She like enjoys the kill. Like that's her thing. She enjoys it. And like we go through like the centuries of her enjoying the thing. She meets so many people. Like she meets Renata and Hector. Like they become like her first friends. She really likes enjoying spending time with them. But promises mean something in this world. If a vampire promises something to another vampire, they're stuck. Like, promises happen twice in this book. Hector and Renata make her promise to never leave, so she can't until they are killed. And she makes Charlotte promise her later in the book that she won't be able to hurt her. So she's traveling along. She meets all these people, and she meets Mateo and Alejandro, who was a vampire and a human couple. And it works so well. Like that, those become like her two people, like her best friends. Like she actually like really, really likes them. Like I think she is her best self when she is with them, because she learns to not eat all the time, like kind of enjoy the knowing someone, like the getting to know someone. She really enjoys like the hunt now. But eventually Alessandro dies, and it sort of makes Mateo really, really sad, and he's grieving, and like he turns someone as a way to fix that grief. Doesn't work. So then he has to leave, and Sabine leaves. She makes it to London, where she meets Charlotte, who's part of like society and is going to be like presented to the court soon to like get a husband. She doesn't want that because she is in love with girls, and she doesn't want to be a wife. That's why she was sent away in the first place, because she kissed one of her friends. And Sabine like notices her and sees that in her, and offers her the chance, after they get to know each other, to be with her. Charlotte agrees, and she turns, and Charlotte hates it. She hates her existence as a vampire. So what happens after is them like being together for a while. But like Sabine is also very controlling. It's very toxic. Like they love each other, but like it's very, very toxic. And vampires, they don't live forever. Parts of them die just on the inside. So they become less worried about people noticing them, less worried about their bloodlust. They become very much less worried about that and turn to like monsters and different people. That happens to Sabine, and Charlotte can't do anything about it. So Charlotte runs, and Sabine chases her, killing any other person that Charlotte gets close to. And Charlotte even like kills the ones that Sabine turns, except Alice. She turns Alice, and Alice hates also being a vampire. And we learn like her whole history, like with her sister, and like her sister like basically like trying to get out but never gets out of their hometown and like ends up dying because she stepped in front of a car. It's heartbreaking. And then Charlotte lies to her saying, you'll get your human life back if you kill Sabine for me. And she does. But in turn, later doesn't regret killing Charlotte either with Gravedirt. Because Gravedirt is something that can kill them. If ingested, I guess. And Alice gets to continue her life as a vampire. Like her new life, her new story. Because that's like the concept of this. It's about stories and lives. And it's just... I really liked how all the themes were put together from like the 3 different characters. Like they each had their own theme and it all like coincided into the end with Alice. I really liked that. Anything else I want to talk about? This one? No, but it's so good. Sabine is my favorite. Maria, but she's my favorite because I like the way that she was written. Like she always wanted more, and when more wasn't enough, she kept getting it until eventually that killed her. It was really good, and I really liked that. Like, greed, revenge, and love are like the 3 themes of this book, and I really loved that. So, yeah, those are the 5 books that I read, and some were letdowns, and some were really good. I really liked them. So, if you liked this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, everyone.